I'm journalist and podcast enthusiast Lauren Windle, and you're listening to The Good Pod Guide, where we help you find your next great listen. I'm declaring this now. This is absolutely the last banter crime podcast I'm reviewing. That is a vow from me. I am retiring from reviewing these. For me to do another one, they would have to be like the absolute funniest crime podcast known to man ever. It would have had to have won an Oscar and a Tony and a bloody Blue Peter badge, because I am just done with them, I think. Incidentally, I've got a Blue Peter badge. I've got two, because I helped them open the Science Museum kids section on the ground floor when I was, I'm going to say, 6 years old. So my first foray with fame. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, this podcast doesn't have one. And I don't think podcasts actually get awarded them. I don't think they even award them anymore, because someone started selling them on eBay and ruined it for the rest of us. Used to bloody get me in free at Legoland, that. So those things were gold dust. It was a real touch. Right. Anyway, we're going to talk about true crime obsession. And to be fair, this is mildly different to the other crime banter podcasts in that it recaps popular true crime documentaries, not just crime situations. They've analysed documentaries like Abducted in Plain Sight, the Ted Bundy Tapes, and Dirty John, The Dirty Truth, as well as many, many more. I actually haven't seen Dirty John, The Dirty Truth, but I have seen the other two. Abducted in Plain Sight was mad, wasn't it? This is a little spoiler, but it's not like a whole spoiler. It's like a small side spoiler. When he convinced her that she'd been taken by aliens, I was like, what the hell is going on here? What? It was an absolute mess, but brilliant documentary, by the way. It's on, that's a Netflixer, I think. It is presented by Patrick Hines, the founder of Theatre Podcast Productions, and content creator and producer Gillian Pensavale. They host this sort of deep dive into these documentaries. Episode 58 was fascinating and mildly funny. It looked at a documentary on a group of people who decided that they hated people so much that they moved to the vacant Galapagos Islands. And I'm not going to lie, there are days when I relate to that. They also analysed this documentary made by the director of the Exorcist films, where he did this documentary on exorcisms, which I hate to break it to them, but I don't think an exorcism is a crime. Like, if it's a true crime documentary, can you claim like spiritual warfare as a crime? I don't know. That's actually probably worth looking up. Is it against the law to perform an exorcism? Anyway, in this documentary, they learned that exorcisms are very popular in Italy. So who knew, eh? There are 40 odd episodes out at the time that I recorded this, and they vary greatly in length. So somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour, depending on the topic. It is really quite casual conversation. And if that's what you want, then do you know what? I think you'll love it. They do have a great dynamic. However, we felt like we preferred the more formal, professional, story-driven true crime podcasts that we'd listen to. I would say approach this one with caution. It is pretty grim at times. But if you want a discussion of some of the more off-the-wall true crimes, then this could be for you. In the next episode, I make the case for Love Actually being a film you can watch at any time of the year, not just Christmas, as we look at the podcast The Rewatchables. For more info, head over to www.goodpodguide.com, and you can also follow us at Good Pod Guide on Instagram and Twitter.